First of all, thank you everybody for joining. This is quite a turnout. So I know that everyone is super excited about loyalty. I know we are very excited about loyalty. And so we'll get started here. I am Brittany Yunker, and I am going to be your gracious host today. So we will go ahead and start, and then we'll certainly have a Q&A at the end. And if you have any questions, please do pop them into the chat, and Margaret will be monitoring that. Anything else, Margaret, that we should mention?
No, I think that's great. Yeah, we'll be happy to help with those questions at the end.
All right, fantastic. So I am going to share my screen. So one moment, please. All righty. Sharing. All right, can you guys see my screen, Margaret?
Yep, you're good to go.
Okay, cool. So today, of course, we're talking about the loyalty feature, and it's a robust, has many parts to it, many super awesome parts to it. So we're going to be talking about all of those today. Specifically, we will be first talking about activating the loyalty extension. And then we're going to be creating some loyalty tiers. We're going to learn how to redeem points on an admin order, on a POS order, and as a customer on an online order. And then we'll end by talking about reporting and queries. So let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of my slides here. And we will begin. Okay, so first of all, here we are in a very familiar page of admin. And the first thing we're going to do is we need to add the extension. So that's the very first step. So we're on the apps and extensions here. We head into Commerce7 extensions. We scroll down and we see loyalty here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that guy. And we add the extension. And we have a modal here that shows a few configuration boxes that we need to be addressing. The first one is the redemption rate. And the redemption rate is the calculation that defines how many points can be redeemed for a specific dollar amount off. So this is something that you guys will need to think about and calculate so that it is assessed for everyone who is redeeming. So in the example here, we have if 100 points can be redeemed for $1 off, enter 0.01. Likewise, if you decide, oh, well, actually, I want our program to be 250 points that can be redeemed for $5 off, you would enter a 0.02. So yeah, there's a little bit of math involved here for sure. But once you figure that out, that's what you enter in here. I'm going to go ahead and choose our example here of 0.01. We have a redemption limit, and this is the percentage of an order that can be paid with points. So I'm going to enter 100 here. And what that means is that if a customer is purchasing and they have enough, basically it's like, okay, how many points what is the percentage of the order that can be redeemed with points? If I put a 100 here, that means that 100% of the order can be redeemed with points if I, as the customer, have those points available in my account. If instead you want to define that, no, I only want 50% of orders to be able to be redeemed by points, you would enter a 50 here. I'm going to leave it at 100. And then we have points awarded on customer creation. So any customers that you create within admin or anywhere actually coming from POS, wherever they're coming in from, they can be awarded a certain amount of points. So basically it's a great incentive. Hey, sign up on our list today and you get 500 points in your account to play with. So I'm going to put a 500 there. And then finally down here, you can define whether points can be earned on shipping and or taxes. or not. If you leave these unchecked, then they will only be assessed on product in the order. I'm going to leave those unchecked for now. I set up the loyalty, and now we have an active loyalty extension. So now when I head over to settings, I see loyalty points here. Now, if I don't see loyalty points here, that means that I need to do the extension first. So just know that you need to do the extension first, and then you'll see the loyalty points. So now we are going to set up our tiers. Now, a word about this. We are now in planning mode for our loyalty tiers. And basically, loyalty tiers are segments of your customers. You are going to define, okay, this segment of customers has this set of rules around their loyalty points, and this set of customers has this set of rules. So it's just to basically, you know, give folks rules around how they personally can earn their points. But I want to definitely call out that this is in planning mode, and that you want to be super thoughtful before making this active. You really want to discuss with your team and be like, okay, how do we want to set up our loyalty program? Because once you make this active, it's, yes, you can edit it later, but obviously that it can certainly cause confusion with your customer, with your team. So you want to really make sure that you kind of have this nailed down before you make this active is the best practice. So right now, there I am. We have settings here. Now these settings are the same settings that we just set up over in the extension, but you do have the opportunity to edit those here if you would like. Note that they are global. So any of these settings that you change here will affect all of the tiers that are down here. So I have set up some tiers down here, as you'll see. But let's go ahead and add one more here so you can see what that looks like. So I'm going to add a tier. Let's add a platinum tier. And this will be for my very, very top folks. Qualification type, you have 3 different types here. You can base it upon club. And if you do, then you'll see the clubs, any of your clubs available down here to define for this particular tier. We have lifetime value. And that's the one I'm going to use actually, and I'll enter that in a second. But then we also have yearly value. So basically, okay, I have to maintain this yearly spend for me to remain in the platinum tier. So those are your 3 options there. I'm going to go ahead with lifetime value, and I'm going to enter $2,000. I want folks who have at least a lifetime value of $2,000 to be in the platinum tier. Down here, we define for the platinum people, the points earned per $1 spent. Well, I want these people to really, really be incentivized to purchase often and a lot. So I'm going to give them, let's give them, this would be incredibly generous, but I'm going to say 100 points per $1 spent. And then we're going to save that loyalty tier. Okay, so down here, you'll see I've already have gold, silver, and bronze. My platinum is now at the top. But let's say someone is both in a platinum tier as well as maybe another tier that I have based on club membership. So this is a customer that is in 2 tiers. And the way that they are determined which tier they're going to be in is which of these tiers has the hierarchy. So if, for instance, it's actually my bronzes that I want to have, that I want to be at the very top, I would simply click and drag my bronze to the top. And now you'll see that tag for highest tier is up at the top. I'm gonna put that back down here because that's where it makes more sense. Oops, one more. There we go. And then you'll also notice down here that we have a base tier, and the base tier exists when you first go in. So it's not one that you can delete. You're gonna see it there by default. And this is for folks that are not in any other tiers. pardon me, not in any other tiers. And you can go ahead and give them points earned per $1 spent if you would like. I've gone ahead and given them, you know, thrown them a bone, given them, okay, you can have 10 points per $1 spent until you make it to the bronze tier, which is my $250 LTV. So at least it gives them a little bit of something. All right, so that is how the tiers are set up. I want to now hop over into a different instance here where things are all set up, and this is where the rest of this call will be, this is where I'll be doing the rest of my activity. So here I am. In this one, I have my gold, silver, and my bronze set up. In my gold, I have lifetime value, $1,000. Points earned per $1 spent is 50. And then down here, we have silver, $500 LTV, 25 points per $1 spent. And then bronze is here. And then of course, down here is my base. So let's take a look at what this looks like on a customer record. The thing to know is that when you do make this active, and this one is active, in the background, these tiers or Commerce7 is going to go look at all of your customers and they're going to take a look. Okay, who has spent over $1,000? If they spent over $1,000, great, they're in the gold tier. And now you will see that on their customer record. So let's go take a look at one of those. So let's look at Coco Chanel. She's a gold member. We can see that up here. We see at a glance how many points she has in her balance. We also see a loyalty tab here. Click on that guy. And because she's been very active, we see her entire statement here. This shows all points that have been both earned and redeemed, along with accompanying order numbers. You also notice that there are a couple manual ones here that are not associated with order numbers. And that is because you can adjust loyalty points as an admin. And you do that by clicking here. And you can say, if you're adding points, you simply put in a value. So, okay, I'm giving her 1,000 points. She's great is the reason. Save those loyalty points. And you'll see immediately they are here. If you need to deduct points for whatever reason, you can do that too. And you just simply need to put a negative sign in the middle of it or in front of it and say, whoops, it was a mistake. I didn't mean to give her those points, save loyalty points. And there you go. So lots of flexibility with regard to points, excuse me, and being able to have control over those as the admin. Let's create an admin order and see how we redeem those points. Pardon me. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add an order. We are going to add some stuff to our cart. 4 of those. All right, that looks great. You'll see this blue flag here that is an indication that you can redeem, that she has points to redeem. So I'm going to go ahead and redeem those. And then here you do have an option. Let's say she's like, oh no, I only want to actually redeem, 100 of my points. Pardon me. I'm sorry, you guys, dying with allergies this morning. So I apologize, my froggy throat. We have, so if we wanted to, for instance, change this to 1,000 points, or 10,000 points, which would equate to $100. We could do that as well. Click add tender. And now we see that there's the amount tendered there along with the Visa. And if all of this looks good, then we're going to go ahead and charge it. All right, fantastic. We have done it. And then when we go to the payment, we can see down here that status is paid. This balance, the $477.18 was paid by the Visa and 100 was paid by points. All right, let's go create a POS order and redeem some points. So I'm going to go up here, go to POS. And we are going to create new. And David Lee Roth is a big fan, so we're going to add him. And again, at a glance, we see David Lee Roth is indeed a gold member. He loves our wine. He has over 39,000 points. So he's come to visit and now he wants some more wine. So let's go ahead and give the man what he wants, which is, let's give him a few of these. Let's see here, let's do 3 mags. Okay, cool. So we have $484.99. We're going to pay. And on this screen, you'll see loyalty points. He can redeem, he's eligible to redeem $390.80 on this order. But obviously there's going to be a balance, so we will be splitting this. So I'll go ahead and click loyalty points first. And once again, let's say he only wanted to, do a different amount, he doesn't want to use all of his points on this. That's fine. You can adjust it however David Lee Roth wants it. And we pay with loyalty. Great, we've done that. And now we need to split the order. The rest is going to be in cash. Pay with cash. Awesome. Let's take a look at the order. And again, we're going to go to payment. And again, we see loyalty points paid for this much and cash paid for this much. You can also use quick pay with the loyalty points, so that you know that. I'm going to head back into admin so that we can go online as a customer. So now I'm logging in as a customer. First, I want to go to my dashboard. So we now have a loyalty points section here, which is super awesome and very visual. So you'll see here that Brittany is in the base tier. She only has 450 points, $4.50 she can redeem if she would like. Down here, it tells you the rules for her tier. So earn 10 points per $1 spent. It's also a little incentive here. Spend $176.28 more to reach that bronze. And then you can learn more about the tiers here. So it dynamically talks about how they can, where they are now and what they can do for the future to redeem more. You also can view history. So here, again, a full statement of what's been earned as well as what's been redeemed. Let's go shop. Let's grab 12 of those, add to cart, and we're going to proceed to checkout. And then down here, we can certainly put in a card, which we'll need to do because she only has $4.50 worth of points. But we definitely do want to redeem that. Also, let me go ahead and put a card in here. Let's do. And click redeem here. Oh, it now wants it. Oh. Did I do that? I think. Did I just have it backwards? Maybe. Let's see what happens. Click the review. No, it doesn't like that either.
I think the test number is 4545, I think.
Thank you.
Not 43. No problem.
Click the review. Hello, hello. Interesting. I wonder why it is so unhappy.
The test number is
try 5454.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Team effort here.
Team effort. Thank goodness. Oh, now it's happy. Great. Okay. Thank you, everybody. All righty. So now we have, we see the payment is going to be $450 with the points, and then the balance is going on the MasterCard, and we're going to place our order. And it's complete. And so down here again, we get a quick little summary. And that is that. So let's go back into admin. And we are now going to take a look at some reporting. Unless Margaret, Andrew, Andrea, anybody want to mention anything else before I go on to queries and reporting? I'll take that as a no.
Yeah, I think you're good to move on. Perfect.
Okay, fantastic. So let's head into reports. And now you'll see loyalty reports. There are these three right now. There is another one coming, but let me talk about these first. So the first one is the loyalty tier report. This gives the count of customers per tier. And as in a lot of our reports, there is the bar graph up top. You can float your cursor over and it will give you a quick, okay, base tier has 19, silver has 2, and our golds have 4. You can also scroll down here to take a look at it in this way. We also have the transactions by day report. This gives a count of points adjusted, redeemed, and earned, each for a specific time period. So you can define your time period here. And again, you can take a look at the various point counts per day. And again, everything is detailed down below. And the third one here is transactions by month report. This gives a count of points adjusted, redeemed, and earned by month. Obviously, points or loyalty is brand new, so we only have May right now. And then down below again, just, you know, we just have May right now. If we had several months, we'd see several months totals here. And the fourth report that is coming very soon is going to be a loyalty summary report, which is very similar to the orders closing reports. It's going to have those types of values. The other thing well, a couple of things actually. When we talk about queries, let's go ahead and head over into queries. And in the customer query, add customer query. And when you are in a customer, what you are doing it by customer, you will see now down here, you can query on loyalty points as well as loyalty tier. And likewise, if you go back into queries, we go to order queries and we add order query and we do it based on customer. You will also see those two query points down there that you can then work with and report on. And then obviously, you know, you'll be able to tag as well. That is what I have. I will open it up to our team. What else? Oh, the tags. Let's go into settings.
Settings, yep. Settings, then tags.
Oops. And then tags. And then dynamic. Add customer tag. Let's go to dynamic. And then down here, you have loyalty points here as a consideration here. And then soon we will also be seeing loyalty tier in this listing as well. All right.
Wonderful.
Open it up to our team if I've forgotten anything or if you would like to mention anything that was not mentioned. All right.
Awesome.
Robert, do we have any questions?
Yeah, so Andrew was doing a great job answering questions as we went, but there are a few that went unaddressed. So I'll bring those ones up right now just so we can get some clarification for those people as well.
Do you want to repeat any of the questions just in case people weren't in the chat?
Yeah, I'll go through the chat for sure. But the first question actually is asking what's the difference between the new app and the previous Tree Frog app. So Andrew, could you touch on that a little bit for us?
That's a great question. I talk to Pablo at Tree Frog all the time, but I actually don't know the difference between this and his program. He's well aware that we built this program. Is he on this chat, or is
I
he?
did see him ask a question, so maybe he's willing to unmute and mention the differences.
Maybe Pablo, are you there? Can you talk about that?
We'll see if he's still here.
Let's go to the next question. We'll see if he
Awesome.
comes back.
Okay, wonderful. So the next question was from Sarah. She asked, can you alter the redemption rate after it has been set up? And Andrew answered, yes, you can alter the redemption rate after it's been set up. So that would be done through the settings. Natasha's asking, there's no option to combine qualifications, so club and lifetime value. And Andrew said, you can have one tier be club and another tier be lifetime value, but not combining them in a single tier. Nick asked, when we activate this, are customers starting from square one with points, or will setting it to a yearly spend mean it calculates 12 months back and automatically gives them points? So Andrew said, when activating, customers start from square one. You can work with a data migration specialist to pre-populate points on a given customer.
Hey, can we, two things, Pablo's back, but can we clarify that slightly? So when you set up a loyalty program, people start with 0 points. You can work with a data migration to pre-populate them with points, but they start with 0 points. But it will put them in the tier that they belong to. So if you say you set up a gold tier that's 1,000 lifetime value, it will go find everybody that should belong in that gold tier and put them in the gold tier. But it doesn't give them points on their previous orders. It'll only give them points on the orders from today forward.
Awesome.
Is that clarified there enough?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And Pablo is also saying that he's willing to answer that question now too. So, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Pablo, do you want to hop off of mute and just let us know what the difference is between the app and this new functionality here?
Yeah, so basically both apps are very similar. What we have encountered as a difference is that our app, like you have to kind of enroll the customers into the loyalty program, where C7 kind of everybody will be automatically kind of assigned, right? Other difference is that on our side, we are able to do kind of bulk assignments of points and removal of points for customers. The thing that our app doesn't have that you guys have, it's the ability to redeem those points, right? Ours is more not so straightforward, and we cannot redeem points for like actually use those points to make some purchases, right? We need to go and kind of maybe create a gift card and then remove the points manually for the customers. So I think those are kind of the main difference between the apps.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's really appreciated.
Before we move on, I just have a quick question about the activation and kind of like the not backdating the points. Are we able to go in and manually add points?
Yeah, so there's two options for you. When you activate it, you could go manually add points. You could also work with the data migration partners such as Pablo at Tree Frog Digital, and they could go through and add points in bulk for you on your customers.
Okay, thank you very much.
Awesome. So I'll just keep going through the answered questions as well, just so we can get some clarification on that if anyone's curious. So the next question here was from Pablo. He asked, is there a way to exclude customers from the loyalty program? And Andrew answered, no, there's no way to exclude customers from loyalty. Next question was from Mitch. So do adjustments to points trigger notifications to the customer? So no adjustments to the points do not notify the customer, but they can see that on the front end website. So all transactions will be visible in the dashboard there. So they will be able to see that. However, they're not sent an email notification. Next question is from Natasha. Can you run this with a subscription club rather than just a traditional club? And yes, the answer is you can definitely run this with a subscription club. In fact, we encourage you to investigate those tools if you haven't already. They're really awesome. Next question is from Haley. Can customers see the adjustments of points when logged into their account? Yes, I just answered that. Next from Bodhi, are customer loyalty levels available via API? Like say if someone wanted to sync them to MailChimp or Klaviyo? And Andrew said, yes, of course. And then Jerica asked a question about the demo specifically. So Jerica, if you wanted to clarify that a little bit further, we can definitely get into that as well. I'm not sure exactly which point in the demo we were at when you asked that. So if you could respond with another question, we could definitely address that for you. Next, John's asking, do loyalty points expire? Andrew mentioned, no, they do not expire. And then Nick said, they don't expire even when you choose yearly settings rather than LTV. So Andrew, can you touch on that? I don't think that was addressed.
Can you just repeat that one time, Margaret?
Yeah, of course. So someone asked if loyalty points expired, and someone asked they don't expire even when you choose yearly settings rather than lifetime value.
Your points don't ever expire, so they continue to accumulate. Your yearly spend will drop you down a tier or up you a tier or even take you up higher in a tier, depending on your yearly spend that you have. So yearly spend, lifetime value, clubs affect the tier you're in, but the points that you're accumulating never expire.
Wonderful. Awesome. Thank you for that. Bill's asking, can customers ever transfer their points? Andrew mentioned, no, they cannot transfer their points. Monica's asking, can you exclude certain products that loyalty points cannot be used on, i.e. excluding a wine that is nearly sold out or limited production? And at this time, there's no ability to limit products that can be paid with points. Nick is asking, can a customer buy a gift card with points? And yes, you can definitely buy a gift card with points. And then Carrie was asking, they have to redeem the full amount when Brittany was demoing on the front end. And yes, the answer is, as a customer on the front end, yes, it works in the same way as our gift cards do on the front end. So the full amount would need to be redeemed. However, as she demoed in the POS and in the admin panel, you can specify the amount of points you wish to redeem on the order. The next question was from Laura, can you use them on a club order? And I believe the answer is yes to that as well.
No.
Oh, sorry. No, you can't?
So,
okay, sorry.
If you're processing the club order on the POS using some of our new tools, yes, you certainly could use points. But if you're processing club orders in batch, it always uses the credit card on file. It'll create points, but you don't use points when you're processing club orders in batch. It goes to default credit card. Yeah.
If they were to adjust the tender on the order, would that be a possibility, or is that not something that you can adjust for one specific individual order?
You could do one-offs, no problem, but anything that's happening in batch is going by a credit card.
Wonderful, awesome. Thank you. Next question is, new points are earned on dollars spent after the redeemed value, correct?
Points are earned on the, that's a great question. I need to double check. So first off, you have the option in your settings to say whether they're earned on shipping and taxes. So you could control whether it's on the subtotal or on the total of the order. But I believe points are applied on the subtotal or total regardless of how the order is paid. But I'd need to double check that.
Awesome. Okay, Mitch, we'll follow up with you on that.
Andrea's telling me you earn points on the entire order total. All right. So not just the redeemed or non-redeemed amount.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrea. Next question was, if an order using just points needs to be refunded, will the system refund the point balance or refund the dollar amount? So it will refund the points balance, Sarah. The next question is from John. Can you get a report with names versus loyalty? And Andrew mentioned, yes, you can get a report with an export of all of your customers in a given tier, which answered his question there. Haley's asking, not including points for club shipments would be a huge plus. Is that something that you would consider as an option?
I don't think so. But first off, I'm not the only person that decides on features here. Every Tuesday, we have a feature meeting for all the features that get supplied to Commerce7. And we go over those as a team and discuss their merits. So can't give you an answer on that. Definitely we'll bring that up in next Tuesday's feature request meeting.
Wonderful. Awesome. During the demo, Jerica said, okay, so during the demo on the admin side, points were applied for $100 off. I believe the charge button still had the original fee. Could be confusing to customers on what is being charged. And then Andrew mentioned that we'll look into that. Next question was from Taylor. We utilize points at our tasting room and do not allow members to redeem bottles with them. Is there any way to set points to not be redeemed on bottle purchases?
There's not a way to do that. You could limit how much a customer could redeem on an order, but you can't limit what products are being redeemed.
Awesome. And then Bill asked, can customers redeem points on reservations?
Don't have, Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong. We don't have that in the UI on the front end. It is something that's going to come here shortly. Should be able to do this on the back end, no problem, in the admin panel.
Awesome. And then Mitch mentioned that earning new points on redeeming points seems like a bit of a flaw. And Andrew, I'm not sure if you want to touch on that or if.
Something we'll definitely discuss around here. There's interesting things that we see sometimes where people buy gift cards with gift cards or different things. So Mitch, we'll definitely have a conversation around here on that, right?
Awesome. Next question is from Taylor. So I can limit customers to not be able to redeem any points on orders.
So you could set your redemption value as 0, but then I'm not sure what the points are good for. But you could, there's no way, Taylor, to limit. You can limit a customer to say that you can only pay for 50% or 75% of an order. You could set them to 0% of an order, but then I'm not sure why you give points. There's no, right now, customers could use points for anything that they could buy. Basically, points are just a tender type, just like cash or credit card.
Awesome. So that's all that's in the, or sorry, can you edit points with web services? Give every active club member 100 points, for example.
Yes, everything we do is API based. We're 100% API based. The APIs that we have, you have access to. I know that people like TreeFrog have already done some stuff with our loyalty points. By the way, we've had loyalty active on Jordan Winery for several months now. Jordan does not have a club, but they do have a lot of interesting things they do with loyalty, some really cool things. So yes, everything that you saw today could be done via an API, including adjusting points.
Awesome. Okay, I don't see anything else here in the chat. However, if anyone would like to unmute themselves and ask a question or add any other questions, we'll stay for another couple minutes here just to make sure we address everything.
Hey, if Brittany wants to, she could show the summary report now because it's there if she wants to refresh.
That just get added?
Well, that was done this morning, but it actually just deployed. So yeah.
Awesome. Mitch is asking, any data on increased sales at Jordan?
I don't have data that I could publicly talk about without getting their permission.
Makes sense. And Melanie's asking, will this information be available on the support documentation videos? So Melanie, can you just clarify what information you're hoping for? And then we can make sure that it's included for you.
More just like the basics of like setting up the loyalty reports, and not loyalty reports, but all the loyalty kind of parameters and stuff, just so we can go back and, you know, double check our work and make sure it's all working properly.
Yeah, if you go into support and documentation, and if you search for loyalty, you will see it there. There's a complete with videos and everything. Yep.
Perfect. And thanks, guys.
And Betty also just put the link in the chat too. So if anyone else is looking for it, it's right there for you. So thank you, Betty, for that.
And just so you guys all know, these are all anchor links. So depending on what it is that you're looking for, and it pretty much goes in order of the way that you need to be setting it up. In other words, extension is first, then your tiers, blah, blah, blah. But you could, you know, if you're like, oh, wait, how do I redeem points on POS? You can just click on it. Here's the video along with the documentation about that specific question.
Awesome. Yeah, it's super helpful. Thanks, Brittany, for that.
Yep.
We have another question here from John. So do drop-in customers get points, and how do they know what their balance is?
Anyone, if you create a customer record by capturing an email address in the POS system, it creates a customer record, it will give them the points. First time you create a customer, it does invite them to your website to activate their account. When they go to their, if they decide to activate their account, they will see points in their profile when they log into their profile for the very first time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Next question is from Kyle. Any way to set products to be purchased only by points? For example, merchandise only available for purchase by points, not dollars, as a reward for frequent purchasers or club members. Would love to have that option in the future, if not available now.
Thank you for that feature request, Kyle. We haven't made that available. That is available at Jordan if you're actually on their website, but it's not available in our tools. We're deciding what we're going to do around some of those things, right?
Awesome. Yeah, I noted that down for a discussion there too.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Rebecca, if the point redemption is 0, so they can't buy products, can we still run a report that shows what customers have a certain level of points to use for special invitation to events based on points accumulation?
Yes, you could do that.
Awesome. Bill, can an email go out to all customers when we activate loyalty?
You can go into our CRM tools and use our campaign tools and send an email to all your customers, or you could use one of the integrated apps like Bodhi's MailChimp or Klaviyo integrations to do stuff around that. So we don't have an automatic email that goes out, but you could certainly create an email to introduce your loyalty program.
Definitely. Steve, do you have a list of things that are live on Jordan that are not included in the C7 loyalty program?
So the only real things that they have is the ability to spend points on products. So to buy a product with partial points or buy a product fully with points without dollars, and for them to set some stuff around that. They also have some stuff around reservations and points, and we're not sure if we're bringing that. These are things that we like to test and ensure that everything's going to work well and watch how it works over time. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew. There's nothing else in the chat here. So Brittany, did you want to touch on that report that Andrew just mentioned while we're waiting here, if there's anything else?
You got it. So let's take a look at it. Loyalty summary report. So it's the first time I'm seeing it too, people. So let's see.
Oh, it actually is supposed to be a date range in there, not just a from date, but we'll get that adjusted.
Okay. So it looks like, yeah, we have amount redeemed, redemption, number of redemptions, subtotal of orders, and total of orders. And then we have outstanding points, redemption rate, both earned and redeemed, and then tier order count. So yeah, it's a really nice summary of like everything, point and dollar wise.
Looks great.
Awesome.
Wonderful. Okay, so I think that's all for the questions today. So thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for your patience in our releasing of this feature. We hope you love it. And we hope that you're able to use these tools for your customers to make their experience even that much better with the Commerce7 tools. We're happy to answer any additional questions that you may have through support@commerce7.com. And if you run into any issues or any features that you think might be valuable, please let us know as well. We're happy to consider those. So thank you all so much for joining today.
Thank you, guys.